I am filming outside in my own backyard, but the insects out here are really mad that I'm here. Like, they're really annoyed with me. So we'll see how this goes. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Whenever I go abroad, I feel like I always see people just be like dumb foreigners. So I thought I would make kind of today's video would be more about how to not be a dumb foreigner abroad / Alice is the classified abroad survival guide. Alice, there's a bee. Oh my gosh, why are they so mad that I'm outside? This is my house, bro. Listen, let's just live in peace. Let's just cooperate. Or I guess / how to not be an idiot abroad. So the Congo. There's so many bugs here. I don't like bugs. So basically, I thought I would make like a in-depth list of things that have personally helped me. Whether there's a bee. No, va-t'en, je peux pas te tuer, man. Oh. Essentially, so this is not really like a list that basic things, rather they're things that you should definitely do or things that have definitely helped me and my friends while we were abroad. So like really, like if you're gonna listen to any other list, listen to this specific list because it will really help you. Okay, so number 1, make local friends. I feel like people always say this, but I cannot stress the importance of making local friends. Local friends, like if you go to Korea, for example, where I was, Korea, make Koreans friends. If you go to Congo, make Congolese friends. Burundi, make Burundi friends. Make friends, Burunde friends. Make Rwanda friends. Just make friends from that area. And the reason why is because those people know the inside, like the insider tips and tricks and whatever else. For example, like I learned so many soju tricks. If you've been to Korea or you know about Korean culture, you know what those are. Soju tricks, where to go, like what are the best places, where to get the cheapest things, because oftentimes all those very touristy places, they're very expensive, but there's almost always another alternative and a cheaper alternative. So that's number 1. Number 2 is get a local number. I cannot stress how important this is. So when I was, for example, in Burundi, I had a unlocked iPhone. I switched out the SIM card and just put the Burundi number. That was so much cheaper. It's so much cheaper to get a local number. When I was in Seoul, realistically speaking, with my plan, it would have cost a lot more. Like if I stuck with my Canadian number, it would have cost me so much money for roaming and international, international calls or whatever. It would have cost so much money. But then when you get like a local number, it just saves you so much money and so much effort. And you don't want to have to deal with that. Let's say that you use your current number, your like home number, and use it for abroad. You don't want to get stuck with that. Oh no, you don't have any more calls, or you can't call here or there, and you don't want to pay those extra fees too. Oh, bugs, insects, go away, bro. Let me film. I'll leave you alone. Bee. Number 3, learn the transportation system. Okay, obviously this kind of depends on where you go. Like for example, if I was in Congo or Burundi, sometimes local transportation is not the best, so you kind of need to this applies across board, because if in Congo you can get like motorcycles and they'll bring you everywhere. But in Seoul specifically, the metro system is so cheap, and why are they coming? I'm sorry, I'll leave. Let me just get through this. It's so cheap. Like transportation system, in Seoul specifically, or in Korea in general, taking the bus and the train, it's like what, $2, like 1,001-ish, which is about like $1.5 Canadian, and like I'll do the conversion later, but every ride, that's how much it is, not more than like 2001. But if you're to take the taxi, it will cost you like triple that price to go to the same location. So definitely not worth the price. I mean, not worth the it's not worth it. So just get familiar with the local transportation method, because it will help you and it will save you so much money. Plus, a really good upside to this is that you actually get to see a lot more of the city when you're like in the bus or in the metro, and you get to, like, I don't know, you just get to interact with a lot more foreigner, like you get to interact with a lot more locals. So get on that. Number 4, get familiar with the currency. And what I mean by this is that, let's say for example that I have $20 Canadian. If I have $20 Canadian in Canada, why can't it get me maybe like a meal or something, or it can get me something. But if I go to US, $20 is what, like $12 American, or 15. How much is, like, we'll do the again conversion later, but in America it's a lot less. And then when you go to Seoul, it's maybe kind of this, like when you go to Korea, it's kind of maybe of the same value ish. But then when you go to like Burundi or something, $20 can be a lot. So know your currency. And the reason why I say this is because you need to know this in terms of A, how much you're actually spending in your home currency, and B, how much it's worth, if that makes sense. So then you kind of get to know how to not save money per se, and just get to know how much you're actually spending, if that makes sense. I think that makes sense. I think it makes sense. Does it make sense to you guys? Does it make sense? I don't know. Comment below. Does that make sense? Does that explanation make sense? Who knows? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. This is a mess. So number 5, learn the basic of the language. And if it's like a different alphabet, learn that specific alphabet as well, or at least know how to get around. I cannot tell you how many times I was abroad and like I was chilling out with friends, I was like in Korea and I was chilling out with friends, but they didn't know anything, like the language, how to order, what everything was. A server would come by and ask, oh, it suddenly got very dark very quickly. Oh my lord. Okay, like a server would come and ask them, oh, what do you want? And they couldn't like properly interact or respond. And this is that's only a basic example, but worse things can happen where they can get lost or something, or they cannot find a place. And because they don't know the very basic of the language to find themselves, it's gonna be extremely difficult, because realistically speaking, not everyone speaks English. Okay, and if you're in a foreign place that's not known for English, very few people will even speak the language. So you need to know just a basic of the language, or the basic of the alphabet. Get to that. It's actually very important. For the language thing, obviously this depends. Like if you're there for like 3 days, I wouldn't say it's worth it to learn the basic of it. I mean, I would still say it's pretty worth it, but it might not be as important. But if you're there for like more than like a week or so, or more than a month, a little bit more like medium to long term-ish, I would say that learning the language is definitely important. Number 6, bro, I cannot stress the importance of this, and I have fallen, like I do this so many times. I have done this in like different countries, and it's so bad. But don't spend all your money in the first week or month. Just don't do it. If you're there for 3 days, don't spend your money in the first day. If you're there for a week, don't spend your money in the first day. Well, just don't spend your money. If you're there for a month, if you're there for like more than like a few months, don't spend all your money in the first few months. The reason, oh god. Okay, so just budget, okay? Because I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm in a foreign country, I want to spend all money, I want to buy this and that. But you got time. If you're there for more than a week, you have time to buy everything else, and you have time to explore. The issue with this though is when you end up spending all your money is you end up spending, let's say that you're there for a month. Actually, let's do a week. And you end up spending all your money in the first, or at least like a good portion of your money in the first 3 days. For the next 4 days, what are you going to do? Stay at your hotel, do nothing, because you'll be broke abroad. You do not want to be broke abroad. You do not want to be broke in a foreign country, bro. Trust me, that will like hurt your soul. Don't do it. Do not. Just budget and stick to that budget. Worst comes to worst, you don't end up spending all your money. Then you have, and like towards the end, you have 2-3 days left, 4 days, whatever. You can just spend all your money and go off during that time. Okay? Budget. Just have a budget properly. It will save you. Okay? Don't be broke abroad. Trust me, babe. Don't be broke abroad. You don't want to do that to yourself. Don't do it. Okay? I hate myself. And oh my god, this one, the final one. It's not like the movies. The country that you're visiting, it's not like the movies. It's not like the TV shows. If you go to Paris, you're not gonna get a handsome, hot Parisian boyfriend and come back and suddenly learn how to speak French. I speak French, okay? French is a messed up language. It's really hard to learn. Okay? If you go to Seoul, you're not gonna get a Gangnam Oppa, okay? Actually, you might, because if you're a foreigner, you attract a lot of people, so you might be able to get a Gangnam Oppa, but most likely you won't. And if you do end up getting a Gangnam Oppa, they are not like the movies. They're not gonna or the K-dramas, they're not gonna like take your hand and like protect you from something, and you're not gonna get you're not gonna get amnesia. It's not the TV shows, bro. Okay? And like if you go to somewhere in Africa, whether it's like Rwanda, Congo, Burundi, because that's where I've been personally, babe, not everyone is poor. In fact, Africa is very civilized. So all these like commercials that you see of Africa being like impoverished and kids running around without clothes and mouche and the petite mouche being, what's petite mouche? The little flies and the petite mouche. Oh, sorry, little flies being around people, around kids. That is not true, okay? That's not the reality of the country or the place or wherever you are, okay? So what I advise is to watch, like, if you can, watch YouTube videos or watch other types of videos from actual people that have been to the actual countries that can tell you what the thing is like. But it's not the movies. Get that out of your mind.